Hey guys, Scott from Aristocob.com here, along with my son, Boy,
Hello.
also known as
Seth from CF Spam, the YouTube channel, or SethMarkwood.com.
By the way, that beard is taking forever to grow.
It's not a beard, sadly, it's a mustache. And, yeah.
Is that what you're growing? Just a mustache?
Just a mustache. Yeah, I know. It's sad. It's really, really sad. But it moves about as quickly as the clock behind us. Pretty darn slow.
Hey, now that's moving along pretty good, if you ask me.
In a week? I don't know.
All right, so right now we're smoking and enjoying some of that secret stash that was sent to us last week by David. This came in that Yabo that was the candy box.
Beautiful.
And this is good. This is good stuff.
It's good. Yeah, I like it.
All right, David, got to know what it is. It's whatever it is, I like it.
Mystery bag.
You done good. A couple things I want to talk about. We're going to film a Yabo for the Aristocob channel. And while we're here, I also wanted to plug another video that's going up at Mr. Tool Hunter website. Self-promotion, man. And over there, I'll talk about this.
Okay.
I probably won't. So for those of you who don't know woodworking, this is a miter gauge. A miter gauge is an angle gauge that allows you to do accurate cross cuts that's cutting across a board's width. Think of things like picture frames, for example, when you think of miters, but straight cuts across the grain are done with the aid of a miter gauge. This one happens to date back to about 1955, and this is one of the very best miter gauges ever made. And to prove that point, I have shot a video over at the Mr. Tool Hunter channel talking about this miter gauge and the evolution of this. This miter gauge was from the original Shopsmith Mark V from 1955. Pretty neat miter gauge, and it hasn't stayed static. And some of the things I think are interesting about it is the fact that it has finally been knocked off. So I'm going to show some examples of other miter gauges that you can find on the market that have emulated parts of this miter gauge at least. And in some cases, I'll point out where they did okay, and other cases where they weren't even close.
Now, you said that's used for cutting angles, but I'm confused by that because I don't see a cutting surface on there at all.
Boy doesn't spend much time in the wood shop.
Maybe
it is used on a table saw
either.
to guide, well, and not just table saws. You can use that miter gauge, in the Shopsmith, you can use it with any of the functions. I use it a lot of times as a stationary stop on the drill press.
So the table saw is doing the cutting.
The blade on the table saw is doing the cutting.
Then what does that do again? Because it seems like the table saw is doing all of the work.
Why don't you rewind this video and you can find out for yourself?
You said it cuts. It helps you cut at an angle.
It helps you cut.
It helps you cut at an angle,
That's right.
but it's not doing the cutting.
That is correct. It is guiding.
All right.
I mean, it's no more or no less doing the cutting than the woodworker is. Touchy. That's right. So the real reason for this video is we're going to shoot a Yabo for my Aristocob channel, and I think that there'll be some additional discussion that'll take place. And so that's why we're going to do this in this forum.
The real reason we're shooting this video is because we're awesome, and we want to share that with you. That's why. Don't discredit. It's not all about the Yabo. Well, the Yabo is a big part. Well, I'll get to it.
By the way, it's almost Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
What do you have to be thankful for, Boy?
You know, all the usual stuff. Family, friends. Pizzas. Yes, but only good pizza. I am very not thankful for bad pizza. I have had some bad pizza. Not good.
That's true.
And you?
Well, in addition to 6 cheese nacho cheese fountains, which I'm famous for, of course, thankful for my family. I mean, I've got 3 wonderful grandsons and a granddaughter on the way, at least as of this filming. Aria has not been born yet. But something else pretty major that I haven't talked about on my channel. a couple people on YouTube, as well as Facebook, know about this, but I thought I'm going to share something I am thankful for. Earlier this year, I had a bit of a scare, and that was I went to my doctor, and the doctor said, I've been tracking something that has had me concerned enough to track it, and now it's at the point where I think we need to send you to a specialist. And that is something called creatinine, not creatine, but creatinine, was elevated. And what that means is there is waste in my blood that was not being properly filtered by my kidneys. And so he sends me to a specialist, and we sit down, and the specialist is called a nephrologist, which I didn't even know there was such a thing, a nephrologist.
Sounds like someone who would study elephants.
Or Nephilim.
Mm-hmm. Looking at you, Tom.
I guess Tom got that one. And he sits down and he says, "Well, you understand why you've been sent to me?" Well, yeah, I have this elevated creatinine. He says, "No, you have kidney failure. You're in stage 3 kidney failure."
Out of how many?
5 stages. Stage 4 is where you begin dialysis, and stage 5 is also known as final stage kidney failure.
And how do you go back in stages?
Well, that's the interesting thing. I asked that same question. He said you don't. At best, you can change your diet and your habits, and you can stop the progression of the kidney failure or the kidney disease, but you don't go back. It was a punch to the gut. I mean, I was not prepared for that.
A kidney punch.
If you will. I was not prepared for that conversation and was shocked. So among the things that I had to cut out of my diet, the biggest one was phosphorus, which, of course, I knew phosphorus was a thing. I didn't know that phosphorus was something that you could avoid or ingest more of.
It's a thing in everything.
And well, yeah, it turns out. I asked the doctor, he started going down a list of things that I should avoid. And he said basically everything, because everything contains phosphorus. Some things contain more of it, and certainly things like diet soda or any dark cola, which I drink a lot of. At least I did. And I've tried to make this doctor understand how much diet soda, or pop as I like to say, I was drinking. And just as I was having a hard time comprehending what he was saying, he wasn't comprehending what I was saying. And I had to stop him. I said, I drink 3 2-liter bottles of Coke Zero every day. In addition to that, I drink a massive supply of pop at lunch, soda, the fountain drinks that they are constantly refilling. And then at dinner, if we're eating out, which we often do, I drink a lot there. So all in all, probably 4 or more 2-liter bottles of Diet Coke every single day. And when
8 liters.
And when did that start? When I was a teenager. I have been drinking massive quantities of Diet Cola.
Something you said reminded me of, if anyone out there watches Parks and Recreation, the character Ron Swanson one night goes to
who's a woodworker, by the way, in real life.
In real life, yeah. He goes to a diner and is disappointed because his favorite steak restaurant has shut down. And he goes and orders steak and eggs from the diner, and what they bring him is just poor. It's not even close. And so he says, okay, let's scrap this. I want you to bring me all of the bacon and the eggs that you have. And the waiter says, all right. He said, wait, son. I think you may have misheard me. I think you may have heard, bring me a lot of bacon and eggs. But I want you to bring me all of the bacon and eggs you have. I imagine that's how it played out in the doctor's office. No. I drink all of the pop. I think you may have heard I drink a lot of.
That's true. So, among other things, I had to give up drinking the colas, which, again, I've been drinking in massive quantities since I was a young teen. And over the years, I've had some success dieting using the Atkins diet or a variation of a low-carb diet. And one of the things that I need to avoid is proteins.
Us Markwoods are meativores, 100%. So
yeah, and so I was supposed to cut my diet down to 3.5 ounces of meat a day. So imagine half a chicken breast, and not just any old chicken breast. I'm talking about a chicken breast that has not been breaded or fried.
roughly this
Just
much
a simple chicken breast.
every single
That's
day.
a
This,
lot.
yeah, this is actually more. They said what, about half a hand size
Yeah,
of meat total
for the day.
for the day.
So it was a bit depressing, but it's something that obviously I'm up to the challenge because I want to live for my family, and I want to live to experience my family. Itself is part of that.
A little bit of commentary. He's a foodie, loves Food Network. He stalks Guy Fieri,
Fieri. Not
diners,
the way it looks.
diners, drive-ins, and dives. Finds out the places that he's been in a city when he's traveling to go visit those. Only if they're good. We can go into that later.
And usually, if they're burger related,
Right, which is meat. And
well, the good
he
ones are.
found out this news about his kidneys right before an 8-week whirlwind business traveling tour. So going all over the country with one day. You found out the day before you left for all of these trips.
Yeah.
So no chance to really prepare or learn what all the things were, what to eat, what not to eat. So
I traveled for
worst
10
case.
straight weeks, purchased a number of kidney books on Kindle for my iPad. In the meantime, my bride was purchasing books on eBay and studying on her end, and we got together on the phone and talked about, what she learned, what I learned, and basically it boiled down to, I'm gonna starve. Although
stupid.
I did tell Boontar in a private conversation, I said, I'm determined. Whatever this diet leaves me, I'm going to eat too much of it.
I helped with looking up stuff. It was really frustrating because it's one of those things where each stage of the kidney disease is different and requires different diets. Some of them you shouldn't drink too much water. Some of them you should. And the books and the resources that were most prevalent covered a general span of what to do. Nothing very specific to stage 3, being in stage 3 of kidney disease. And so it was difficult to know exactly what was the right thing. And not having time to really meet with a specialist on that to figure out what exactly to eat.
So what it boiled down to, basically, I became a vegetarian. For 3 months, I ate more vegetarian food. I did discover things like Vietnamese cuisine. I posted a number of pictures on Instagram of banh mi sandwiches, which I really like, which have a very minimal amount of protein on them. But get this, some of the things that I had to avoid were anything that was a whole grain. So I shouldn't eat nuts and seeds. Whole grain bread, you'd think, oh, you're on a diet and eating healthy. You should go to Subway and get that, 7 grain, whatever that they have. No, I had to eat white bread if I was going to eat bread at all. Really, really weird stuff. But anyway, let's cut to the chase.
Yeah.
After 3 months, I go back to meet with a nephrologist again, and he's looking at the results of a couple lab tests that they had run. And I brought my bride along with me this time because, like I told her, as soon as he told me that I'm stage 3 kidney failure, all I'm hearing now is Charlie Brown's teacher. So I asked her to come along so she could listen for me. And he says, well, I got to tell you something. In all my years of study of nephrology, I've never been able to say this to a patient before. He said, you don't have kidney failure. And I said, so I'm not stage 3, I'm stage 2? He goes, no kidney failure. He said, apparently whatever you've been doing has helped you recover from what was likely an injury. And he said, and by injury, I don't mean a physical, kidney punch, but something probably more related to all that pop consumption and other things, and the Atkins diet, stuff like that I'd been doing, was just putting a hurting on my kidneys, and they said, all right, enough. So now, unfortunately, being me, I've bounced back and put some weight on that I need to take back off now, because I'm like, woohoo, let's go get a burger, and then another one. How about another one? Yeah. But the great news, and to answer the original question, what am I thankful for? I am thankful that was a scare that passed. A lot of folks praying, a lot of people encouraging me and helping, giving guidance of what I should do to better my lifestyle. And anyway, that's what I'm thankful for this Thanksgiving.
It's good. As it's nearly the end of November and my mustache has come to full fruition.
You'll be shaving that off soon, won't you?
Really soon. Thank goodness. It's a good reminder that I'm growing this for Movember, which is to encourage men to just take care of themselves healthfully. 1 in 5 men who die from preventable causes, whether it be weight or over drinking diet soda, whatever the case may be. So the biggest thing is don't be afraid to go to the doctor and get yourself checked out. I know we're pretty stubborn.
Get your prostate examined.
All of it, yeah.
It's, you know what, guys?
No fun.
Not comfortable, but you know what? It's over, like that or like that.
I knew that was going to get out of hand or in hand. Yeah.
So that's really good advice. And guys, take care of yourselves, right? I mean, again, like Seth said, we can be stubborn and we don't like going to the doctor any more than we like to go get the oil changed in the car. But, it's not that complicated to do. And we only get one trip around this life, and we ought to take care of ourselves.
Especially those of us with kids and wives and family that love us and are counting on us to.
We all have somebody
stay,
that loves us, right?
to stay happy and healthy.
Don't inhale your tobacco.
No.
Or the smoke from your tobacco.
Right. All right. So we've got a Yabo coming up. I think so.
Well, how long have we gone here?
I have no idea. You want to call it quits and do this? Do Yabo in another month?
We'll do that next month.
All right, we'll do that next week. We'll do Yabo opening next week. In the meantime, check out his videos at Aristocob on YouTube,
and Mr. Tool Hunter,
and every place else.
Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already.
Yes, please. We will be inundating you with more stuff in a week's time.
And share this. If you're on some other form of social media, share this. We promise it'll get better as time passes.
All of my stuff is at Seth Markwood. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, SethMarkwood.com. All of the places. So thank you for joining us for episode 3 of the Markwood Men's Breakfast Club. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving. See you soon.